You ready?
Okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready. Moti ready. Hey guys, welcome to Fashion Corner.
I'm Irima,
I'm Janet.
and this is our first episode.
Yay! Yay! Okay, so today we're going to be talking about fashion school and what your expectations should be.
Yeah, and just basically like from our experience, because obviously we don't know everything, but we did go to fashion school here in Toronto, Canada. It's called
Toronto Film School
in particular, and based on our experiences and the different circumstances that we had, that we're just gonna talk about it and give some suggestions on what we think you should consider if fashion school is something that you want to do.
So I came to Canada as a permanent resident and So I came to Canada as a permanent resident, and Irima here came as
I'm international student.
So basically the circumstances were different for both of us going to fashion school because first the price was very different. International students,
well, paid a lot more. It was about
Yes.
I think everything for me came to about $14,000. But I think even before we even discussed like the course, we sort of had to give some background into why we wanted to go to fashion school in the first place.
Fashion. Why did we choose fashion? So I know Irima probably has like a story, that is like long. When I was 12 years old, I dreamt of becoming a designer and shit. Okay, but let me talk about mine. So back in Nigeria, I always loved fashion. My love for fashion stemmed from, all those tailors in Nigeria that you give your clothes to and you give them a style to make for you, and then you get, the case of what you ordered versus what you got that we see on the internet. Yes, that was what got me so upset, because I'm like, I don't think it's really hard to design like an outfit. I don't think it should be that hard. That I have shown you're supposed to be an expert at this, and then you come up with something that looks ridiculous. So I wanted to learn how to make my own outfits, and that was how I got interested. And I'm a very, very enterprising person. So yeah, I also thought about, I could make this into a business, come up with designs, sell them on Instagram. I did that for a bit. So when I came to Canada, I'm like, okay, that might be in English. Let me try my hands or something. So I decided to go to fashion school. So let's hear my story.
So I've always wanted to be in the fashion industry. I'd looked at fashion as a career path since I was like 13. Obviously, fashion is
I told ya.
Can you just
okay.
Fashion, was always, as you were saying, like in Nigeria, we don't have like the kind of retailing services that were available in this part of the world at that time. So tailors are like a very big part of our life. And personally, my grandmother on my dad's side, she used to make like little stuff like bucket hats and things like, so just different women in my family used to make clothes and stuff like that. So so I'd been planning towards the fashion career for a very long time. And I remember when I was going to go to university, I actually wanted to, because I went to uni in the UK, and I wanted to go to a fashion program. But unfortunately, because I didn't have a strong arts program, because in Nigeria they don't focus on arts.
Fashion. There is no school for fashion.
Even forget fashion, just art in general. Like it's not even really given that much prominence.
Do you know how much that thing killed me? Do you know when I got a job, I was saving up, because like there were fashion schools. Okay, I'm sorry, maybe I should cut that. They were fashion schools, but they were like put together by private individuals. It wasn't like something that was offered. They offered it in school, but the way everything was just messed up.
Nothing. It wasn't just there was no value put on fashion or art in general.
So it made it easy
recently now
for private like individuals to come up and have their own like fashion school where they teach you how to pattern draft and do like basic like or in-depth teaching, but they were expensive. I remember as at 2015/16 when I wanted to go to fashion school, it was 350,000 naira. That was how much I was gonna pay, and I was earning. Did I even have a job then? No, I think I was earning 40,000 or something back then. And so before I pay, look at the cost of living, like as a young girl living on 40,000 naira monthly, before I pay my rent, eat, feed myself, and then, try to save something. It's take me how many years before I come up with 350,000 naira? So like, the dream for me, like it was not going to come to fruition. I was never going to be able to go to fashion except someone gives me the money. But when I came to Canada, I was like, oh, cool, I can go to school. The government will even like you get loans and grants to go to school. So I'm like, I'm going to fashion school. So,
anyways, let me continue with my story. So. Anyways, I didn't go to fashion school for uni, but I did take some short courses at London College of Fashion. So something I've been planning towards. And after uni, it was like, okay, I'm going to focus on my fashion career. And my father already knew that. Okay, I did this English course, which I enjoyed. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
but
we did English.
Like, we both have an English degree.
Yeah.
So I came to Toronto because my parents had been like, oh, come to Canada. So I was like, oh, change your scenery, let's go. And then I found this fashion school. Well, this school that offered fashion. But then, and what I thought was interesting about it was that it was a film school. So I thought that, I guess, take on taking fashion courses would be interesting because how, what would it be? Because I'd always found like costuming very interesting as well. Yeah. So, and there was this whole idea that, you get to like work with the film students. We'll get to that later. But yeah, that's kind of how I ended up at fashion school in Toronto.
Okay, so I went to Toronto Film School. One thing, I'll give it to them, they are good marketers. Damn, they are all over your faces. So yes, even when I wasn't like thinking about them, and they were all up in my Instagram feed and in my. I had to like start looking into it. I had to start looking at Toronto Film School, let's see what they have to offer. And then catch 18-month program.
So that was why you decided. So
yeah, that was why I decided.
The length of the program?
Yes, that was like the major for me because I was looking to go to Ryerson, but then I was going to have to do like a fashion degree, which was going to be like for 3 years. And I'm like, I already have a degree. Like, I just want something quick, something short. So Toronto Film School was offering 18 months diploma in fashion, and I took it. I was like,
what were your particular expectations apart from like gaining technical skills and all of that? So you also wanted to be able to, for me, work opportunities to like work with industry individuals, right?
Yes, that was like I because this life, connection is everything. You have to meet people, just put yourself out there, connect to the right people. And I felt that, like working with like this industry professionals, like put you like, you can talk to them, you volunteer with them, then you can, just that way you can link up and, start doing things. So that was my thought. I'm like, I expected that, yes, this was going to be the case. And also, to be fair, I wasn't really keen on the construction or like making clothes in particular, because I know there are people who are really good at this, and I just wanted to learn how I can draft my own pattern. Pattern making was a big deal for me.
Yeah, same as well.
It was a big deal. I wanted to be great at pattern making so that
I felt like pattern drafting and finishing. I wanted to understand how to finish things properly because particularly because I want to be based in Nigeria, like when my career matures and all of that. So and in Nigeria, we have a dearth of technical,
free, and everything is free.
And there's a beauty in that, but it's not up to standard necessarily. So I felt like if you're going to be working with a lot of skilled people who don't necessarily have the training to, that is up to international standards, you're going to have to be explaining. You're going to have to need to know how to explain a lot.
Yes.
And if you don't have the money to, employ an international person, because that's what a lot of fashion designers in Nigeria
get
now. They have a lot of Asians working for them, or if not necessarily sewing everything, but supervising the sewing and the construction.
And
so
I just felt that if you're able to if I was able to have very, very good in-depth knowledge of pattern drafting, that I can just set up my own business and have people sewing for me, and all I have to do is just pattern draft. So that was my expectation. I was looking forward to that. And what was your own expectation from it? What were you looking to get from it?
I wanted technical skills, so I wanted to learn all of that, and then I wanted to network as well. So I think those were two major things as well.
So quite similar.
And then I also was expecting some level of creative direction in some ways. I think those three things I wanted to be able to, because what I was looking for was also to find a way to figure out my own style, my own fashion language and stuff.
And
like
18 months, trust me, that is what I have come to understand. 18 months is a very short time for you to figure all that out.
Exactly.
you cannot figure it out. It's very difficult to just within that period figure out, because everything that the school offered, everything that they outlined that they were going to teach us, it sounded good. It sounded, but these are things that
I felt
we
rushed through a lot of things as well.
It's not like you felt we rushed through a lot of things, because they were trying to teach us a bunch of things at the same time, and it was just a lot. And I don't blame the school. I'm just saying that it's the reality of what we went through whilst we were in the school. So what do you think you got from the school in terms of the teaching style or the quality of the
teaching? So I think that it was a mixed bag, definitely.
True.
I think that some teachers did better than others, but I think in general I did learn a lot, considering the amount of time that we spent there. For instance, some of the classes that I think I learned the most in were the costume of design class, the product development class, construction classes. But a lot of them were very much the history of fashion classes. I think I learned a lot as well. But anyways, I was coming with prior knowledge because I had already been doing my own, trying to lay some groundwork for myself in fashion knowledge and the previous courses I had done in London. So, but a lot of the classes that I thought were taught really well. The business classes, I thought that class was really well taught. The only one class where I felt that a lot more could have been done, or I could have learned more if the teaching style. But at the same time, I understand the time constraints that we had and the number of students and all of that was pattern drafting. I wish that we had a lot more projects. You know how what was it term 2 we started getting independent projects to do where we had to design something. I feel that if we had a lot more of that, then pattern drafting I would have understood it quicker, in terms of really understanding what you're using it to do. Because when we were doing our final collection, I was still asking Keith a lot of things, and he would be like, but it's because we hadn't really practicalized it, it was more we were just following.
And this is just reinforcing what we said about how there was a lot to be learned. The way the course was designed, they put in a lot of things, more they want to teach you this bunch of stuff within 18 months. Trust me, we did English and it took 4 years to learn that. So you can imagine trying to pick up how to draw, how to sketch, how to pattern draft, how to within 18 months.
I actually think that personally, I think that they did too much of, in terms of like, although like I really enjoyed the history of fashion classes, I feel like they could have, because it's either one thing. You can either be like a technical school, or it can either be like a technical course, or be leaning towards more creativity. And I think that for Toronto Film School and for that course particularly, they should actually lean more towards technical skills. Not that they shouldn't give us like background knowledge or history of fashion, but I think that there was too much of that, and to the detriment of some other important technical courses.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Because like you can always watch documentaries. Like if they had made that like an online class that we had to kind of do by ourselves, where like they just send you do you know what I mean? The links. You can read documentaries, you can read books, you can.
That would have made a lot of sense.
Teach yourself.
Yes.
About like the history of fashion. Even though I really enjoyed the way James taught the silhouettes. Like we could definitely have done that, but I think that he had too much. There was too much of that in some,
So yes, Toronto Film School.
For the length of
just a little bit of advice from your ex-students here. Yeah, you should do better. You should with the course. I think you guys should focus more on like the important stuff. Pay more attention to that and like put more time like into the technical side of fashion, because from what I saw, even from our experience and other people, like most of us come to that school or are going to fashion school for more technical knowledge. It's not just for like every other thing, just technical knowledge. That's what we need. So my experience, like what I got in terms of quality of learning is similar to what Irma got as well. I wish that I had more time to learn pattern drafting. I wish. I'm still learning. We're still doing research.
And I guess like the thing is, you learn what you learn, and then you just have to go on and keep practicing for it by yourself and things like that. Like I think that the fact that like when we started, we stopped like we kind of took like a hit to our grades. But instead of just like following her and just submitting the work, we decided to like, submit work later, and then we would try to do it by ourselves, so we would understand like the steps.
That's one thing that
was what I think helped us.
That was a problem in terms of the style of teaching for that particular class, though, because I know people that got A's or finished like, and they were just basically following what she was doing right there in class, and without understanding what was going on. And because like at least by like the last term, especially when we were told to design the codes, when we designed it, like we understood how we were going to draft it. A lot of people were having issues in terms of drafting, in terms of changing, taking their design into like drafting into construction. At least we didn't have that problem, because we understood whether how you do it basically, and that came from just personal putting in time to personally just come back home and go through what we've learned in class, which is something that we had to take, like she said, our grades our grades suffered from that. It suffered because like we got like assignments started getting late, exactly, because I wanted to know what I was doing instead of just handing it in. And so let's talk about the facility and the equipment that school has. Well, I think it was fine. I mean, like for me, it didn't really like bother me as much, because like I got my sewing machine within term 2, so I stopped sewing in school, so it didn't affect me in that sense. They had, I think it was fine. The equipment were okay, but they could have done more. In what? Because I'm saying that in the sense that most times when we're in school, four of the sewing machines were broken. Okay, fair. They were broken, and then we only had one whatever machine, so we had to wait and take turns. I think like there should have been 2 of those machines. Maybe like more. Yeah, there should have been 2 of the baby serger. There should have been like 2, not just 1, because what happened was that when that machine breaks down or it broke down, we couldn't do anything. We had to wait for them to fix it.
Yeah.
So I think they could have done more on equipment, and maintenance, and just having like doubles of those equipment.
I think for me, the one thing that I wish that they did was like that they gave us free off-campus access to like Adobe and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Because we didn't get, we could only access it on school computers, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted to be able to do stuff at home, you had to have like your own personal. I mean, like Adobe gives like student discounts and stuff. But it would be cool if like they could apply for that. We could access it through them, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking of something else. I'll give it to them though. Like when it comes to like the computer labs.
They were good.
They were good. They had enough maths, and yes, they provided the access to WGSN for students for free.
Exactly.
So it wasn't. So I'm just trying to say that it's mixed, right? Yeah. So there were some good experiences, there were bad ones, and what else? Cost.
Well, what about like support? I think that's where they actually didn't do very well across the board in terms of like student support. I just found that like yes, the course is fast paced and all of that, but I do think that they could have given a lot more support to students. And even like, okay, so we had an internship portion of it, but like it was just kind of like, oh, just find an internship. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like we were really giving like.
I was expecting that they were gonna give us like, oh, Toronto Film School has connections with these companies, and then Canada goes and then they place you
stuff like that. Right?
But no, you had to go. You had to like go look for your own internships
and then for like $40,000, like
that's a lot of money. I paid 30.
That's not really good enough.
32,000.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very much different. I'm telling you,
exactly.
You're looking. It's true.
It's a private school, so
$30,000. It's a private college. That's a lot of money. I'm still paying student loans. So for that amount of money, you should have placed me somewhere.
I think like personally, I got like a good internship, but I mean. Yeah, they could have done a lot better in terms of helping us get like good internships.
I couldn't get internship because I had to work while I was in school because that's something else I want to talk about. We had to buy fabrics, buy this, buy that. We're buying new fabrics every week.
Yeah, all our supplies were
from our own money.
From our own pocket.
After paying $30,000, even ordinary muslin. It's okay.
It was nothing and like the kids cost like over $100.
Yeah, like 200 and something, like to buy the entire kit. Like so it's even like it was expensive. It was a very expensive program. So that's one thing you should look out for if you're thinking of going to fashion school. Fashion schools can be really expensive. It's not cheap. Yeah, it's cheap. Okay, so the cost we already covered that.
So I think like all in all, like as I said, the it's not a bad school, and and we're not saying, oh, don't go to film school. I think that it just suits a specific type of person who's looking for fashion education, and it's more suited to people who like, okay, you're trying to change careers and like you want to start a business quite soon. I think that's what it's good for. But if you're like if you want to, especially if you want to come to Canada and like find out, use it to like maybe to get like
if
more education.
Not been listening to anything that we've been saying, especially my people in Nigeria, or coming from any other part of this world, and you're thinking of moving to Canada, and you are looking to get a work permit, a postgraduate work permit. Do not, I repeat.
Option.
Okay,
just
let me
go
not
to
say
Judge
that.
Brown.
Just don't go to Toronto Film School, okay?
Just go to like Judge Brown or Ryerson.
Yes, go to Ryerson, go to Judge Brown, even Seneca, Centennial. Like you have other options, public colleges that will give you, like in the end, you are able to achieve what you want to achieve. Okay, so looking at the type of people that should go to Toronto Film School, film school or fashion. What am I saying?
The name of the school is Toronto Film School. So if you want to take their fashion program, I think that it's best suited to people who want to start a business quickly.
Yeah.
They're not really looking to further their education in the industry and they really just want to take a course to be able to practicalize it immediately.
I have a story to back this up. Recently, like when we graduated in March.
Yeah.
I tried using my Toronto Film School diploma to get admission into a postgraduate program at George Brown, and they told me that they cannot accept my diploma because it's from a private college. That was very, very heartbreaking because I'm a permanent resident. Of course, I have a degree, but it's going to take like a longer process. It's going to cost me money to get my information accessed by West before I sent to school. And I felt like after spending $30,000, the diploma should worth something. I should be able to get into another postgraduate program with that diploma that cost me so much money. So based on this information, I would say that if you're looking to further your education in the fashion industry, you're looking to go back to school or take a postgraduate program or go for your master's, anything fashion related, please avoid Toronto Film School.
And you're coming, and I think this is specific to people who like you're Nigerian, you have a Nigerian degree. It's kind of,
it's different from people here in this part of the world, because I think if I was Canadian or something, I could still get into that program,
use your
right?
high school.
I can use my high school, but no, I didn't school here, so
I think this is advice specifically for like Nigerians or like Africans.
Dear Nigerians, dear black people.
Well, not black people, they're Africans.
They're Africans. Please take note.
I mean, I don't know what like. Or maybe we should say dear West Africans, because they're the ones that do Gabi. It's West African.
Yeah. So for West Africans, I think if you're looking to come here and just avoid going to any private college.
Just like stick to the public ones, colleges, like George Brown.
It's just make your life.
You get a lot more support and I think a lot more quality for the price.
That said, I know of Nigerians that went to Toronto Film School and she has a business now. Queens Davis Official on Instagram. She does bridals and stuff, and she's really doing well from what I can see, from what I've had conversations with her. And she went to Toronto Film School. And this is a lady that, she knew what she wanted to do. She was going to just set up her own business, and she's in somewhere it's in London or I don't know, somewhere in Ontario. And she has a business set up. She went to Toronto Film School and it's worked out fine for her. So for people that are looking to set up their own business right after this program,
it makes sense.
Toronto Film School will definitely make sense for you. And for international students,
I think like
we've said that before, right?
Yeah, just like personally having done this program here and the short courses in London, I still think that nothing really beats like doing your 4-year degree. If you want to, if you can do that, I would always advise to just go get a proper degree, a proper fashion degree. I think that the time that you get to actually hone your skills and practice,
it gives you enough time to settle in and practice what you're learning, develop those skills.
Develop like a confidence in your skills. But I think that if you have a similar situation where you just need something short to kind of give you like a foundation to start doing something which you can always further go to school for and improve. It's okay. It's not a wasted
at least I met
effort.
Erima. I was able to make some real connections with people, and I have some instructors from school that we still talk on the reg, and they are cool people, and people that
and I think that like the content that I did get did help me to sort of understand the industry better.
True.
And it has helped me now with my postgraduate course at George Brown.
Yes, Erima had to go back to George Brown as an international student because she couldn't apply for a postgraduate work permit in Canada with a Toronto Film School.
I mean, even though to be fair, like Toronto Film School, they do like if you want to get the whole postgraduate work permit thing, they do offer like you have a way to get into like a business program, but that's like 3 years, and it's just like a lot. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just saying that I don't have anything against them, but be upfront. They market and they just leave out all these bits and pieces of information from people. I think it's better to put it all out there so people can choose. They can decide what they want from this program, and they can know that, this is what I'm getting from this school. I feel cheated in a way. I don't know. I feel like if I'd known, I probably wouldn't have gone to the school if I had all this information and from the very beginning. So that's why we're doing this. That's why we are telling you guys, just so you have an understanding. Toronto Film School is a great school. We met some wonderful people. We had like great instructors. But my experience for the type of fashion career I'm looking to build, I'm looking more towards going back to school, and it just didn't cut it for me.
I think personally I don't feel cheated, but because I think that what I went there to get, I got an understanding of, which was technical skills. I got like I'm better off than where I was before I went there, and I had other options, but because of the way like my education was set up and everything, you know what I mean? It was kind of like the option that I had. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think like if you really want to go to fashion school, but you can't for whatever reason like do like a full course or anything like that, like you don't have the luxury to do that, I think it's definitely a good option. I mean, sometimes I'm like, maybe I would have gone to like other schools like in the UK. Maybe I would have stayed in the UK.
Yeah, I wanted to go to
Europe,
London College of Fashion. Like I had dreams of doing this, and I just didn't have enough money. And Toronto Film School, with the old support from the government of Canada, where you can get grants, so it's easier for you to pay back, your student loan. Well, they make it easy for you to be able to go to school, and this is something that will not be available to me if I travel to London, for example. So yeah, it was. I think it gives you like a good base,
but know that like it's a base that you're going to have to like really put in a lot of personal time to really practice, like after the course, because during the course you don't really go to get that much time to do personal practice, because you're going to be swamped with so much assignments and stuff to do.
That's projects. Something else that it's not going to get easy. A lot of people dropped out while we were in this program.
We didn't finish.
It was basically survival of the fittest.
Exactly,
and I think we survived because we are Nigerians and we are very. We're not supposed to persevere. We're just like, whatever you lay your hands upon, you started, you must finish it. It's like it's in our blood.
We also the first time that we had Amy, she told us how like we're going to have to help each other. So I think we did have that like
support system.
Support system. We supported each other.
Yes. So I think that's how we.
And then also obviously like I couldn't not finish it. My father is paying for $40,000. I'm dropping out like.
So it's a Nigerian thing. You won't get it if you're white, but it's a Nigerian thing. You have to finish it after spending so much.
Once you started, you have to finish it. No matter how, you have to finish it.
So if you're going to go to Toronto Film School, another point is for you to have a good support system. Be friends with somebody in the class. Make friends. You guys can do your assignments together. There was a time we were living together, just so we could like survive. So yes. So and I think that's sums up everything we have for you today on Fashion Corner.
Yes.
Erima, we did good. Right? I don't know.
Well, I think so.
I think so. And I hope you guys got to, learn a couple of things from us.
Let us know what you want to see. If you have any specific, requests about like, the fashion
what you
industry
want to know
or fashion topics. We have a lot more coming for you guys.
We do.
Stay tuned.
So we're gonna be doing like red carpet reviews for you, and this is not just this dress is bad. No. Constructive reviews. Okay, we're gonna tell you what looks bad in the dress and how it could be better, right? And
constructive, nothing negative.
Nothing negative, even though
it's 2020.
Oh well, but even though like I might throw in a little bit of, I'm just gonna be true, like really, really, really. I'm just gonna keep it real, okay? It's not gonna be. I'm just warning you ahead. We're going to talk. There's also going to be posts about fashion business. Yes, the
I'm
business
very
of
much
fashion.
interested in that. So, and very much specifically so to like, African industry, the African fashion industry, as well as what we see here in Canada as well, and globally as well. Just discussing like, topics in the fashion industry, things that we see.
Yes.
And
now the African fashion industry can, grow better. The things we would like to see more.
Yeah. Hopefully we can bring some people here and interview them, talk to them, find out, what they've done in their own fashion endeavors. Just, I think that the more knowledge and information that's out there possibly will help someone,
Yes, and it's all about sharing information.
Exactly.
So people are aware and they
can
just
make more
learn,
informed choices.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I think the fashion industry is really broad, and you don't have to be a designer to be in the fashion industry. It goes way deeper than that. There's so much, so yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you for watching.
Bye.